Good morning, class. This is the story of Tricky the turkey. And she is a very, very beautiful turkey. And she is the main character in our story. Okay, here we go. So, once upon a time, there was a turkey named Tricky. Tricky was tan, which is a light brown, and she had 10 feathers in her tail. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She had 2 teeth and a tongue, and she wore a tutu with a tie around her body. Because she did all sorts of tricks, that's why her name was Tricky. She would play a tambourine and dial a telephone with her toes, and then she could tumble. Can you imagine that? A tumbling turkey. That means that she could do like cartwheels and somersaults. So she was a really tricky turkey. Well, many turkeys lived with Tricky on the turkey farm. They liked to play tag in teams. Sometimes they wore t-shirts to keep track of whose teams they were on. So this team, they had little T's. Do you see that? This team had big T's. And this team had a big T and a little T on their shirt. Tricky's team usually won the game, though, because Tricky knew so many tricks. She was very tricky. Well, on Tuesday, there was a big problem. Here's the problem in our story. There was a big tornado. This is the tornado. There's lots and lots and lots of really strong winds that can blow things away in a tornado. This tornado blew through the turkey farm. Everything was tossed and turned and tangled and twisted and twirled about. Oh no! When the tornado was over, Tricky found herself on the top of an old taxi parked between 2 trees. She could not see any other turkeys or anyone else either. She tumbled off the top of the taxi and she hopped inside, and she used some of her tricks to get it started. It's a good thing she's tricky. Tricky drove the taxi with her 2 toes. She took a tour of the area to see if anyone needed her help. What was this that she saw? Why, she saw a tower of turtles, and she counted them. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10, that word says 10, there were 10 turtles in a tower. The tornado had tossed them just like that. That's a really strong tornado. So Tricky took the turtles down one at a time, starting from the top. They were very tired from being tossed about in the tornado. Tricky told them to go rest while she made them a treat. I wonder what treat she'll make for the turkeys. Ooh! Tricky found a table and a tablecloth that had some teas on it, of course. And she found some bread, and she fixed them some tasty toast and some tasty tea. Now the turtles needed a new home to sleep in. Tricky looked and looked. At last, Tricky found them an old tent. The turtles tiptoed in and quickly fell asleep. Before long, you could hear the turtles snoring. And do you know what sound turtles make when they snore? They sound like this. Can everyone pretend that they are sleeping, snoring turtles and make the same sound that the turtles make? It sounds just like a T sound. T, 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 t. Well, while the turtles were napping, Tricky returned to her taxi and she drove it back between the 2 trees, and she fell asleep too because she was just so tired, just like the turtles. It's a good thing that Tricky was being helpful because she really solved the characters' problems in this story.